Alright, so while I was streaming Minecraft Live, I actually recorded it as well for a video. I am about to show you guys the video. It is going to be cut into the best parts of the stream. It will have what the next update is. It will have my reaction and everything that went on from my reaction and everything. So yeah, it's very exciting, and I will have everything for you guys in the next couple of days. I will have everything for you guys summed up in the next few days when we hear about snapshots coming out and everything. You can see it on my second channel, Aquatic Let's Plays and Reviews. Link will always be in the description. But without further ado, let's get into the best parts of Minecraft Live 2020. Alright, here we go. It's starting. This is where the reaction counts, guys. This is where it counts. This is literally where the reaction counts. Oh, here we go, guys. We have been waiting for this. Literally have been waiting for this. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Minecraft Live 2020. I'm Lydia Winters, your host and chief storyteller for Mojang Studios. We're coming to you live from Stockholm, Sweden, the birthplace of Minecraft. Some of our amazing team members couldn't be here today, so we recorded the Minecraft Earth and Creator Tools segments in Redmond earlier this week. We are so thankful you're joining us. Before we get started, we want to acknowledge the number of challenges around the world right now, as well as the mental, physical, and emotional toll those challenges are taking on all of us. With that in mind, we want to give the opportunity today to take a breath, have fun, enjoy the games we love, and celebrate all of you, our incredible Minecraft community. It won't all be easy. You'll have to decide which mob to vote into the game, which, based on votes in previous years, will be super tough. You'll not only get to hear about what's coming to your favorite Minecraft games, you'll also hear directly from the development teams. We want you to leave today knowing about the exciting additions coming to Minecraft and also why our team has made those decisions. An insider's look at what's brewing at Mojang Studios. Today, we're kicking things off with the announcement of the we're going to tell you right now.
Oh man.
Hi, Agnes and Brandon.
Hello.
Oh, it's
Let's do
dogs.
So, okay. The next update is the update that we know that so many of you, and well, so many of us as well, has been wanting for such a long time. It's the Caves and Cliffs update.
No way! What?
It must feel amazing
It's for
to
real!
tell everyone that.
It's for real!
I'm so excited about this. I mean, even before I joined Mojang, I was always thinking about, like, when is the cave update gonna come? And this is it, but it's
Holy
also
snap!
got the cliffs as well. It's got
It's
the mountains.
coming,
Like,
guys!
this is such a big update, and I'm so excited.
How are you feeling, Agnes?
Great, like, no, it's so good. So we have been working on this update for quite long, and we're like, we can't wait to tell everyone, and now we just announced it, and it feels
So we're actually
amazing.
getting our first live look at some reactions.
Oh,
Let's go!
Okay, that's very
so
cute.
cute.
Those mobs are very very excited. This year, we asked some of our communities to submit questions that we'll answer across the show.
No
This first
stinking way,
question
guys.
definitely
I
feels like something
predicted
everyone
this.
wants to know.
I
¿Por qué se
predicted
tardaron en
this.
actualizar las cuevas y cuándo llegarán? En verdad que hemos estado haciendo esto por muchísimo tiempo.
Oh, I can't wait to watch this years from
Why
now.
has it taken so long? Like Brandon, I've been waiting a long time too.
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Oh.
So, since this update really is the update, like we've been dreaming about it for so long, so it felt so important for us to do it right. Like we don't want to rush it. But now feels the right time. Like we have spent the time we need to really like understand the vision we have for the update, and also to make sure that we understand what the community actually wants. And we've also like planned around it to make sure that we really can work together with the
Holy
community
moly!
to make this and like as epic update as possible. And we have also hired some new amazing developers to the team.
And you're one of the amazing developers, Brandon.
Yeah, I joined this year in January, and I actually came from the community. I used to do modding for 10 years. One of the first mods I worked on was the Aether, which is like a dimension that added sky islands and stuff. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be here and work on an update this epic.
It's so happy to have you.
We have another creator question.
Hi, I'm the Pink Diamond Diva, and this is my question. Are you making the caves more advanced for older players so they can mine deep, or are you making them more accessible and easy to navigate for newer players?
Such a great question.
Yeah, I mean, with this update, we're making sure that we can have as much variation as possible within the actual caves themselves, but we want to make sure that the old caves are still retained as much as possible to keep that classic feel.
Yeah, and we really also looked into to make sure that we have something for everyone, because you know we have such a huge community, and it's also a very diverse community, and that's such a beautiful thing. So we really want this update to have something for everyone. So actually, we made sure to map all the features in the update to different player styles to really see that we fulfill that goal.
That's so cool. And you had such a
Cool.
big
This
thought
is gonna be
process on how
epic.
you decide what even goes into
Yes.
an update this big.
Yeah, we have spent quite a lot of time on just making sure that we have a very good like fundament for the update. For example, we did the player style mapping, and we've also worked with design pillars. So the design pillars, they kind of describe the vision of the update. So for example, they help us when we like prioritize between different features, and also when we
I
define
cannot
each
believe
specific
this is
feature.
happening.
And we have 3 pillars
This
for
is
this
gonna
update.
be-
And the first one is actually all about like the spectacular mountains, the snowy snow, and the mischievous goats. Because at last year's live, the players voted for these features, and we felt like it's so important to deliver on that promise. So we actually wanted to have it as a pillar.
Yeah, and another pillar that we actually integrated into this was adding strategy to mining. So of course Minecraft already has plenty of strategy in mining, but we wanted to see if we could push that just a little bit further and add even more mechanics that make it interesting for players to mine in the caves.
Yeah, and the third pillar is to create an underground of marvel for the players. And that pillar is a lot about like adding variation to the underground and like contrasts, and like inspire players to like craft their own underground adventures and build underground. And one thing we have done to like fulfill this pillar is that we have added new cave biomes, and one of them is the lush caves.
No way. Huh? Whoa! Holy moly! The underground is never gonna be the same again. Holy snap! What? So what?
It's so beautiful. It doesn't feel cave-like.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to make sure that, of course, in Minecraft, all the original caves, you know, they're pretty much the same. There's not much variation in terms of vegetation or different features inside of it. So for this, we wanted something which is a bit more like light and lush and actually has vegetation. And I mean, I think it looks amazing.
It's gorgeous. What was the inspiration behind it?
So we were thinking about, okay, so how should it feel when you are in a lush cave? And we wanted to be like, so you feel like very tiny inside like a big garden or big forest. So like when you look up, it's actually like vegetation above you, it's vegetation around you. And one source of inspiration we had is actually a Swedish painter called John Bauer, because in his paintings it's always, or often at least, like a tiny character, and then it's like huge forest, and you see like the bottom of the trees because the vegetation is like so big compared to the character.
And you're adding so many new plants in the lush caves.
Yes, so I don't know if you saw, but there was this new tree that was actually above on the overworld, and this is called an azalea tree. So it's a unique type of tree that it'll be easy to spot.
Look at this. Azaleas, dry plant, glowberries, spore bloom.
For players, and if you actually find this and start going down its roots, you will find a lush cave there. So this is another part of adding strategy to mining, where there are certain landmarks which will allow you to understand what you're doing in the game.
That's cool. And another one of the new blocks is a block called Spore Blossom, and it's that you maybe saw it in the video. It's a big pink flower that you find in the roof of the lush cave, and it will drip particles from that flower, but it will also actually feel like a big volume around it with particles. So it's similar to the particles that we added to the nether biomes in the nether update, but the cool thing here is that you can move the flower if you want to and get these particles anywhere you want in your world, so you can actually be very creative with that.
That's so awesome. And the lush caves have a real glow to them from one of the plants.
Yes, so there are vines in the lush caves, and they have glowberries on them, and these are actually a light source. And you can also pick them and eat them if you want to.
Nice.
More berries!
And another plant we actually have is the drip leaf plant. And you can actually see that they can kind of grow from like water or anywhere else. And they grow quite tall, but they have like a little plant on the top that you can actually hop onto. So the idea of the mechanic behind it is that the leaf will actually tilt down when you stand on it too long. So this will actually make you fall through. However, after a few seconds, it'll come back up. So it's kind of this like platforming block that allows you to just, continue platforming over and over again, which I hope is really exciting for, content creators making maps.
Yeah, you can build like your own platforming levels, and then they will repair themselves. That's kind of neat.
It's so beautiful in there. And there's actually a mob coming to the lush caves.
What is it?
Yes,
What is it? What is
there
it?
is, but we will actually not tell you about this mob now, because in the end of the show we will show even more features coming to the Caves and Cliffs update, and then we're gonna show that mob.
This is the first time we have so much that we're actually splitting the update section into two at the beginning and towards the end.
This is gonna be so
It's
fun!
amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting.
You've also worked on improving the cave generation.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, so as you can see here, this is drastically different to what caves used to look like. And there's definitely still the old style of caves, but we wanted to make sure that there was much more variety in the sort of caves and the shapes and the sizes you could get. And even here, you can see that there's some water underground.
Yes. So we actually added something we call water levels. So in one cave might find like a cave lake, and another cave might not have that one. And this also means that we get naturally generated waterfalls, which is so pretty. And it also kind of gives like new ways to traverse the underground. We can actually go cave rafting.
Cave
So you'll see in a
rafting?
bit that
No way!
our player here will actually use a boat to raft. And that is just such an exciting opportunity to be able to traverse the caves in a very different way than you used to.
Yeah, we were playtesting, and then one of the devs like, look at this, it's so fun, and all of us just started to go with the boat on the waterfalls. It was a lot of fun.
So another thing to note here is that you can see that a lot of the ores were actually glowing. This is just for preview purposes. Ores aren't going to glow now. It's just that the caves tend to be quite dark, and we want to make sure that players can see the shapes of the cave.
Now, will that only be for the normal caves, or will this run across all of the new cave biomes?
Yeah, so the really cool thing is that the new cave shapes and sizes is completely independent from the new biomes. So that means that we have so much variation. Because, for example, a lush cave can, for example, generate, in a super narrow tunnel, but it can also generate like a huge cavern, and that creates completely different atmospheres, but it's still the same biome. So we're really going to have lots of variation on the ground now.
You've been calling two of the different cave types spaghetti and Swiss cheese? Like that's how varied the caves could be?
Yes, I mean, there are so many different variables for how the variation works, and I mean, it has even more variation than the overworld itself. It's just crazy.
It's a lot. Yeah, some of the caves, for example, have really cool pillars, and some are more like flat, some are tall. Lots of variation.
Very nice. And you have another new cave biome to show us.
Yes, so we have the Dripstone Caves biome. And whenever I think about the idea of a cave update, the image of stalactites comes into my head. But adding these are pretty difficult. You know, it's a very unique shape that Minecraft isn't really accustomed to. But I think the way that the artist put it into Minecraft works quite well. And of course, there's some mechanics surrounding this. So you can see that someone destroyed the block up the top, and so the dripstone fell down. And also, unfortunately for this zombie here, if you fall on these dripstones, you will get hurt.
Poor zombie.
There's another interesting mechanic in the dripstone caves.
Yes, so maybe you saw in the video that, like, from the stalactites, you could see that it was like dripping water. So actually, if you put a cauldron under a stalactite, it will fill up with water. So it's renewable water.
And how do you remember which is stalactites and stalagmites?
Well, that's a very good question. It has been very tricky to remember that, but I think I learned. So we actually, it's hold on tight to stalactite. I was going to say the wrong one. So stalactite is in the roof and stalagmite is on the floor.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We've been practicing that, all of us.
For a long time, like even.
And you have something really amazing in this update for the sort of redstone engineers out there.
Yes, so we've actually been thinking about this redstone block that lives in the deep dark, a new biome at the deepest depths of the world. We're not going to talk about this biome too much today, but we are going to show some of the blocks and maybe later a mob that comes from it. So if we look at the video, we can actually see that it's basically this growth, and this is called the skulk blocks. And one of the blocks is called the skulk sensor. This is the new redstone block. As you can see, when you place or destroy a block, or if you have footsteps, it'll actually detect the vibrations around and then emit a redstone signal. So this is going to be very interesting for redstone players. We even have a mechanic around it where you can actually use wool with wool occlusion to essentially prevent signals from being able to get into the skulk sensor. So let's take a look at that now.
Oh, whoa!
And as you can see here, I walked next to the skulk sensor, and it's actually kind of doing an infinite loop where the piston is causing a vibration, and then it's activating the skulk sensor and going over and over again. But here, I've actually put a wool block in between the piston, which prevents the signal from going to the skulk sensor. This can allow you to even do sort of directional skulk sensors where you can put wool blocks on each side and only allow it to detect vibrations in front of it. And vibrations can be so many different things. You know, it can be a snowball hit, it could be an arrow, it could be footsteps, it could be blocks, anything.
So cool.
Yeah.
And another thing, we have
I am losing my mind right now.
had a bit of a happy accident with this because we realized that we get wireless redstone thanks to the skulk sensor.
Yes.
So, and we didn't even plan to add it, but then when we started playtesting, we're like, wait, we got wireless redstone, and that's so exciting, and well, you can just build so many cool things with that. It's going to be exciting to see what the community will build.
Yeah, you're really looking for community feedback to make sure this feels great for everyone.
Absolutely. I think because this is such a unique mechanic, we really want to make sure that we get it right. And, you know, we love the redstone community and we want to make sure that we do it right. So any feedback you have, any ideas, send it to us and we will work with you to make this the best block that it can be.
And now, we said there's another mob coming later, but I think it's time for a new mob coming to the Caves and Cliffs update.
It is. And this is a very scary mob. And it lives in the deepest of the underground, in the deep dark. And this is a very dark place. And the cool thing is that this mob is very well adapted to the environment. So it can't see anything. So it's the first blind mob in Minecraft. And that's very interesting because it gives such interesting mechanics. So instead, it will react to vibrations, just like the skulk sensor block. So if you aren't very careful when you walk around in the deep dark, you might upset that mob.
Yeah, with this mob, we really wanted to make sure that we kind of recaptured that feeling of the first night of Minecraft. And we can often forget that Minecraft can be a pretty scary game. So we wanted to make sure that we kind of go back to that. I mean, caves can be scary. They're dark. And all I'm going to say is that when you go into the deep dark, I want to make sure that you're very quiet and watch closely for the warden.
Oh, what is that? It's like a new block. What is that? Looks like. Candles? Candles? Guys, do you see that? That's candles! Abandoned villages! They're doing abandoned villages! They gotta be doing abandoned villages. Oh, whoa, what is that? Huh? Whoa! It's a new boss! It's an actual new boss!
What did we just see?
It's a very different mob. I'm really excited for this because not only is it trying to be scary, it's, we had to keep a balance to it. It was very challenging to design a mob like this. Another thing that's really important to note is in that video, I was wearing full netherite armor, so it's very powerful. You definitely want to watch out. Yeah.
Which I think also is such an interesting gameplay, because if you want to, you can avoid it, but then you need to really be careful, sneak all the time to not make any kind of movement that it will detect. But that's a lot of fun, and it's still scary, but in a good way.
And you wanted to kind of take everyone back to that first night experience with the warden.
Absolutely. I mean, I had such an amazing experience when I first played Minecraft. It was terrifying listening to zombies underneath my house and in the caves, and hopefully we can bring that back to players, but, 10 years later.
Yeah. But that would be just amazing, because you hear so many lovely first night stories. It's such a big thing, and I mean, I was very fond of my first night in Minecraft, so we hope to give that experience again.
But you really balance sort of the look of it. It's it's almost cute, but also really, really terrifying. How did you decide?
We actually worked a lot on how does scariness look in Minecraft? Because we
Oh, cool.
wanted to be very scary, and we didn't want to take away from the scariness, but we felt, let's add some derpiness to it. So it's like a mix. So for example, we added the mouth. I love the mouth. And some actually reacted like, oh, it's so cute, which I think it's more scary, but I think we find like the perfect balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really has
Amazing.
character.
Yes, definitely. Well, you've been sitting up here. You just announced an update that everyone has been waiting for, and we actually have some tweets that have come in.
Oh,
That's awesome.
okay, that's amazing to see. So much excitement. Oh, even more tweets. So,
That sounds awesome! Another Minecraft novel, and this one's called The Mountain. Speaking of mountains, remember last year's vote? It was a fierce competition, but the mountains won after 2 intense rounds of voting. Well, I have a sneak peek into what your vote is bringing to Minecraft on the cliff side of the Caves and Cliffs update. Goats. They're both mischievous and adorable at the same time. As you can see, they live on the mountains. And if you aren't careful, they might knock you off.
Oh yeah,
They
they're
also
doing
have
it! They're actually
excellent
gonna make
jumping
them
skills.
functionable!
We'll also get better mountain generation with spectacular and more dramatic mountains with height-dependent generation. That means things like tree lines and mountaintops that will be more challenging
Holy
with lots
cow!
of snow and ice. And speaking of snow, yes, it will be snowier. We will also have a new block called Powder Snow, which will be a kind
Powder
of trap
snow.
block. It looks similar to snow, but if you or a mob walk on it, you will fall right through. Now let's talk about this year's vote. We have 3 awesome mobs for you to choose from. And to introduce them, we once again have Tiny Agnes and Tiny Jens. Let's see what they have to show.
Here we go, guys.
Bees and moonblooms are friends, just like we are. Right, Agnes?
these friendly cows live in the flower up here. Right, Jens? Do you ever wish Minecraft's oceans were glowier?
Not me. I always wish for world peace.
Sure you do. Well, wish no more. Meet the glow squid. Wow.
What was I meant to say again? Vote for Minecraft?
Can't talk. Must admire glow.
Agnes, Jens, it's really distracting.
They're so tiny and they're so susceptible to distraction. Hopefully that won't happen to you. Now let's go over how... Hello? Oh, hi Tiny Agnes. Yeah, no, I like... Where was I? And why do people keep leaving phones around the studio? Now let's go over how you can be a part of what is likely to be an epic showdown. Don't let this decision be made without your voice. Be ready to cast your votes. First, make sure you have a Twitter account. If you don't, go to twitter.com, sign up for an account, and make sure you're logged in. I'll let you know when the voting starts. Then you'll need to go to the Minecraft Twitter account to find the latest poll. Think carefully, debate with your friends and family, make a decision, then click on the mob you want to make it into Minecraft.
Forgot the poll, guys. They forgot the poll. I think they forgot the poll. Oh, wait.
We're going to talk about our upcoming DLC that we prepared with our friends at Double 11, and that's called the Howling Peaks. So we're going to the mountains with dungeons as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why don't we take a look at some live gameplay?
Yeah, let's check it out. We are very lucky today that we have 4 members of the Dungeons team with us. Here's Mariana at the Nintendo Switch. Hello. Here's Chris at the PC. Here's David at the PlayStation 4. And at the Xbox One, we have Annika. So we get to show you here for the first time cross-play, which we're very excited about. So people can play together from everywhere.
That's exciting.
And yeah, that's our first look at the mountains biome coming to dungeons.
Already I see a goat right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were so happy. We asked the Minecraft team if we could bring goats to dungeons, and they said yes. So we get to release them a bit first in dungeons, so we're super excited about that. They're equally as mischievous. Yes.
So I see a lot of wind coming out of these grates.
Yes. Wind is a mechanic that we're going to explore a lot in the mountains missions. And the players will be both challenged by it and will be able to use it. So the wind will push the player, so you need to be a bit careful, but at the same time you'll be able to use it to solve puzzles, push items and open doors and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's awesome. What is this we're looking at?
Right, so yeah, our mountains biomes are so tall that the player will need to find new ways to traverse the levels. So that's a mountain lift, and there's gonna be full of like these little contraptions all around.
That seems like a really fun new mechanic.
Yes. Yeah, the goats are all around, and you need to be careful with them.
Yeah, I saw them attack.
Yes, they're really gonna push you out of the edge if you're not too careful.
So leave the goats alone.
Yes, leave the goats alone. That's very important. And as you'll see in a bit, the iceologers that you can find in this mission and in all the mountains missions are very ready for the weather. So they are wearing their little cozy clothes.
Oh, I'm excited, all right. I am ecstatic. I am ecstatic.
And they're wind resistant, which means that while the player will have... Right, the wind callers spawn a draft of wind right under the player, and they push the player up, so the player gets fall damage.
Okay.
It's very important to deal with them quick or run away, because they're gonna be painful to combat otherwise.
Well, they're doing a pretty good job against these wind callers.
Yes, our adventurers are strong.
Okay.
Ooh.
3 Ravagers.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. But so far, I can see that all the consoles are working very neatly together. We're super happy about that. It's been progressing very nicely, and we hope everyone can soon play together. Oh, that was an iceologer. I wanted to say, like, that's my favorite mob, but you know, it went too fast.
It didn't stay around too long.
Yes.
All right, we're leading up to this big Ravager battle.
Yes. But I think we can let our adventurers deal with the Ravagers.
Not very well.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So, with all of this, you also have a new game mode coming.
Yeah, the game mode is coming very, very soon, and it's going to be for all the players for free, and that's called Apocalypse Plus, which means that we're making the game just, you know, harder a bit at a time. Yeah.
When you call something apocalypse, it sounds very hard.
Yeah, and Apocalypse Plus means that it gets even harder. So hopefully players get to find new challenges, and we found different ways to tweak the balance so the challenge is different every time.
But, okay, that's a lot of stuff. You're working on even more new things for Dungeons.
We're working on a ton of stuff. I feel we've been so busy. It's crazy. But yeah, we have today a little video with a lot of work in progress. Work in progress, though.
Very work in
progress. Yes. But yeah, I think we should look at the video.
Wait, that's my line.
I'm sorry.
Cool! Whoa! It's the Nether! I knew it! They're gonna add the Nether! What? I knew it! They would add the Nether! It makes so much sense now! It makes so much daggone sense! The oceans! Oh! And the end! Holy crud!
You may have missed our next guest during the Minecraft update segment, but not to worry. You're about to get some dedicated time with the one and only Jeb. Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much.
very different not having you in the Minecraft update section.
Yes, yes, it's a little bit different this year since we always want the ones that are actually working on the features of the games to be the ones to get to talk about them, because we feel that it gets more genuine in that way.
So what are you working on then?
Yeah, that's a good question. No, of course, I still spend a lot of time with Vanilla and Agnes and the team, but I now work with all our products, all our games, and like the board games, and try to support our developers and designers to capture the Minecraft feeling and make them fit together. But honestly, everyone's so talented, so it's actually quite an easy job. But to help everyone, both in Stockholm and in Redmond, I wrote a book, a Minecraft game design book.
Are you trying to sell that to everyone in the audience watching?
No, this is only for Mojang Studios employees. It contains a lot of secrets. But it was helpful when the team grew to kind of explain my thoughts and ideas about Minecraft. And for Vanilla in particular, there are some guiding principles that are going to help us continue updating the game for many years to come.
But you did decide to share some today, so people can kind of see what's in the Jeb game design book.
Absolutely. So one of these guiding principles is, it maybe sounds obvious, but that is, it's always one block at a time. You place one block, you remove one block, you pull one lever, and you trigger one TNT, and of course that causes a big explosion. But at the core, the interaction is always one block at a time. And it's not only important for the way you play the game, but it's also if you're playing together with someone, let's say you're building a house or something, then I will be able to observe what you're doing and quickly understand where you're going, and then I can help you, and every block counts. If you would just copy paste or make templates and such, then it would be a little bit harder to collaborate. And also Minecraft is a lot about the journey to create your massive castle or whatever. But so it's important to we retain that feeling.
And you have another principle, but it applies pretty directly to a community question that we have.
你会加入更多天气或者自然灾害到我的世界中吗？像是暴风雪或者是大雾天气。
我的世界的中国玩家大家好，感谢你的提问。
Wow, yes.
Yes. The Chinese community inspired me to try to take on a new language, but I have a long way to go, honestly. But about the question, if we're going to add things like natural disasters, that kind of contradicts one of our other guiding principles, that bad things happen, but they're technically the player's fault.
Okay, they're the player's fault.
Yes, in the sense that it was either caused by a player, like a griefer or summoning the wither, or a player was nearby, such as when a creeper explodes. So whenever something bad happens, we want to make sure that the players are either actively taking part of that or have a way to prevent it from happening. And an earthquake or a tornado would obviously destroy something that you've spent hours building.
But there's definitely a few I can think of that maybe fall outside of this principle.
There are still a few cases, like Endermen can grab a block and maybe wreck up some redstone, or you can have an unlucky wolf running into your sheep garden. But there's also, the worst thing is of course lightning strikes that can set your whole house on fire. But I'm hoping that Agnes and the team may have a plan for that.
Exciting. Mm-hmm. So what's the last feature you were active in developing?
Yes, the last feature I did was the netherite feature. I thought that was a very important part of the nether update and wanted to help where I can. But I don't want to. Since I'm working with so many different projects now, I don't want to do something halfways and then kind of leave it to the team to fix my bugs. So I try to be a little bit hands off. But recently, I've of course also been working a little bit on making combat test snapshots.
That leads us to another community question.
Hey, I'm Dan TDM, and I would love to know what kind of combat mechanic changes are being made to Minecraft Java Edition.
Yes, that's an excellent question.
Dan TDM!
We currently have a problem that on the 2 different editions of the game, there are different combat mechanics or combat systems. And that's bad both for us as designers that have to take both systems into account, but also bad for the community that wants to have the same experience. So the main objective is to reach parity. But I still want to make sure that we make a system that is kind of fits with the building, that doesn't distract too much from building, but still gives us this depth that allows us to design interesting behaviors. Also, I want to make sure that it works good in both player versus environment. That means adventuring and players versus player. And I want to make sure that it feels good playing both with mouse and keyboard. And when you're on a controller, you don't get tired by frequently pressing the trigger. And we also want to improve touch, like the touch experience. So it's a lot to do.
But you said you weren't working on feature development. But
yeah, it's
you
true.
are working on combat?
Yes, I mean, of course, it's a little bit hard to keep your hand out of the feature cookie jar. But in this case, I also felt that this was an area where I could help the team, so they could focus on doing the content updates. But at some point in the future, I will, of course, dump this on the team.
Okay, so exactly what you said you
Yes,
don't want to do.
Yes, and they will have to carry it over the finish line. Yes.
Nice. Now, speaking of combat, we just had a really cool announcement about Alex and Steve coming to Super Smash Brothers.
Yes, and that is so amazing. And just like I said, like my job gets easier because everyone's so talented. And just in this case, Sakurai-san and his team they really understand Minecraft and have made an absolutely amazing Super Smash Brothers fighter.
And Sakurai has also made a really amazing video for all of us in the community.
マインクラフトライブをご覧の皆さん、こんにちは。大乱闘スマッシュブラザーズディレクター、空の桜井正宏です。スマブラにマインクラフトのダウンロードコンテンツが導入されます。スティーブやアレックスが参戦することが決定し、マインクラフトライブ前に特別放送をお届けしたのですが、見ていただけたでしょうか。もしまだの方はぜひご覧ください。スマブラであることを忘れるぐらい、マインクラフトのスピンオフとしても相当にすごい見込んだ表現を行っています。発売までもう少しだけお時間いただきます。スティーブがマリオと戦う、アレックスがピカチュウと戦う、ゾンビやエンダーマンをアクションゲームで操作できる、リンクやカービィやソニックやロックマンやクラウドやリュウなど有名キャラクターとの共演が楽しめます。そして私も、マインクラフトファンの一人です。マインクラフトライブでの、発表を楽しみにしています。それでは。
That was a really big secret to keep.
Yes, and it was a really hard secret to keep even in the studio because it was super secret. But it has been so much fun to work on.
Yeah, it's amazing to see the community reaction.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to switch gears here. You have a sort of famous saying within the office, which is the world would be a better place if everyone played Minecraft. And why do you think that?
Yeah, I suppose the quote has kind of gotten a life of its own.
It definitely has.
But yes, I think Minecraft unleashes people's creativity and helps them collaborate, but also teaches them things like geometry, languages, and maths. So yes, I do think that the world would be a better place if everyone played Minecraft. But
Jens, you must have seen a lot of amazing things because you're about to hit your 10-year anniversary at Mojang Studios in like 2 or 3 months.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, it has been an amazing journey these 10 years, and I have had so much fun working on Minecraft. But of course, I'm also a Minecraft player, and we're all like with the community. And in the end, it's really the players and the community that gives everything its purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And from myself as part of the community, I just want to say, like, thank you for the 10 years and all that you've done for Minecraft. It's made a huge difference in my life, and I think many people watching right now.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jens.
Okay, time to vote again. Let's do this.
The results of the first round of voting are in. The round which determined which mob's dreams would be dashed, with no hope of making it into the final round. And it was intense. But sadly, let's all say a fond farewell to the poor Moobloom. Then forget it ever existed, because it's time to vote again. We are now down to the Isolager and the Glow Squid.
Oh,
and in the first round, they were quite close. I'm quite interested to see where the voters of the Moobloom will go. If you missed the first round of voting, make sure you get in on this one. It determines which one of these two makes it into Minecraft. I know who I'll be voting for. The final voting poll is live now. This is your chance to have a say in what goes into Minecraft. So don't leave yourself out, log into Twitter and go vote.
Come on.
Hello, I'm Quinn, head of the Marketplace Partner Program, and I'm joined by 2 of my favorite people. How about you guys introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Fanny. I'm a developer on the Creator Systems team, and what we do is create tools for our creator community. And some of them are very visible, and we're going to talk about them later. Some others are more behind.
Pause that for a second, sorry. Where is that poll at? I can't find the poll, dude.
Let's go up and see what we
My
get here.
Soldier is losing, guys.
We know you've waited a long time for this update, and if you thought the first set of features for the caves were awesome, it's time for even more awesomeness. Agnes and Nir from the Vanilla Minecraft gameplay team are here to tell us what else is coming to the Caves and the Cliffs update. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Hey.
How does it feel?
It's so amazing. It's so awesome to finally be able to share that with everyone.
Yes, it feels great, and we have looked a bit at tweets during the break, and
we have some more tweets.
We have more tweets.
Yes.
Wireless read so much.
Oh yes. There will be so many cool things you can build with that, and the warden. It's amazing to see all the excitement.
It's so cool.
Nir, you recently joined the Mojang Studios team.
Yes, I joined this year, but honestly, I'm not completely sure how that happened, and not just joining Mojang. I'm not really sure how I'm here in Minecraft Live, because like just last year I was home, glued to the stream, just I had to know what the next thing is coming to Minecraft, and today it's not only that I get to share that, I got to work on some of those things, so it's fairly incredible. But yeah, I've been developing games for a few years now.
So in this update, you've been really looking at like filling out the caves even more.
Yes, so there are even more things to show. And in the things we showed so far, it's a lot about like improving the journey underground, but of course we also want to add like new things to find, like new resources. And one of them are crystals.
No way! No stinking way! What? Say what? What? This is absolutely crazy!
They're so beautiful.
Yes, that the moment you turn the corner and you see that glowing thing, it's incredible.
The atmosphere in the crystal geode, it's like mystical. Yeah, they're so pretty. And we were thinking a lot about like what is the purpose for crystals in Minecraft, and one thing is like they should have a use, and we will talk more about one of the usages soon. But the other thing is a lot about just adding a lot to the experience of exploring. And we want them to be quite rare, so when you find them, it's really gonna be like magical, because they're just beautiful, and you know when you walk on the crystals, you hear these sounds.
Yeah, it's just, we talked before about the pillar of underground of Marvel. I feel they're just the perfect feature for that sort of pillar, right?
But you can't just take them with you.
Right, so you can break the crystal plant we saw in the video, but they actually grow from a very special block. And that block is unobtainable. It's sort of like you think about spawners, right? You cannot just take it and put it in your base. It makes you go and build farms all around your world. And that also encourages you to create tunnels between them and find out ways of transferring those items from place to place. And I just love those sort of features that really encourage other gameplay in the game.
As an explorer myself, I'm very excited about finding all of these. And you mentioned a usefulness to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, from those crystal plants, you get crystal shards items, and you can actually use them to craft a telescope.
No way! You can make a telescope? What? A what? A telescope? Now that is epic!
That is amazing.
It is. It's such a useful item. Super cool. And the cool thing is that, so yes, you use the crystal shards to craft them, but you also need something more, and that's also a new thing that we added.
No! No way! What?
It's copper!
That's amazing.
Yes, it's new ore.
Holy cow! They're adding copper!
And you saw the copper ore in the video. And a very interesting thing with the copper ore is that it generates in a different way. So normal ores often generate like an ore blob, but copper is different. So imagine that you are out mining and you see copper ore. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna mine the copper. And then you see some stone. It's like, they look a bit different. So you continue to mine. And then you find another copper ore. And you probably go like, okay, I think I found a copper vein. So we're actually adding ore veins to Minecraft. And like they really add so much to mining. It gets so interesting because it's kind of like following a trace when you mine, and they tie so well to the pillar we have about adding strategy to mining.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And you've personally wanted copper in the game Since you start, maybe before you started?
Yeah, you mentioned it once or twice.
Well, maybe a few times. But yes, so I think I got inspired by the pretty copper roofs in Stockholm, and they are all green because we have so many like old buildings here, and we've actually added that mechanic to Minecraft as well. So you know, if you place a copper block, it will first be orange, but after a while, a pretty long time, it will turn green. And it's something, I think it's so cool, because it actually adds history to Minecraft. Because, for example, if you have a really old Minecraft world, then you can see on like a house and like, oh, the roof turned all green, and then you know that that house has been there for a really long time.
This is gonna change Minecraft forever! Say what? Oh.
And copper won't only be used for the telescope. You actually have another really cool thing that you'll be able to craft with it.
Yeah. So, Jens talked a bit before about these design principles that we have in Minecraft. And one of them is that if something bad happens, the player either caused it or it has a way to sort of avoid it. And one of those exceptions, for example, is lightning striking. Now, some people like to build wooden roofs in Minecraft. Some even build wall roofs.
Looking at me.
Right.
It's not at all like the grandest castle in my realm actually has a roof fully built of wool.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
No,
but
we did get some fires.
yeah, so to try to help the players with that, we are introducing the lightning rod.
No! They're adding lightning rods? Say what? What? Minecraft's never gonna be the same again!
Out there.
Yeah, I think this is a problem that happened to a lot of our players. Even personally, I had this peaceful game that I played with my partner, and it wasn't peaceful, and we went out and we were like looking at animals, collecting a few animals to our base, and we came back and our house was gone. And I was quite confused, because I consider myself to be someone who knows a bit about Minecraft, and there are no creepers, there are no endermen, so what happened? We figured that probably a lightning strike hit and burned down the house, and we were quite traumatized because we were not prepared for it. So I think this lightning rod is really going to help with that.
Yeah, now you don't have to worry about that problem.
Oh. I'm going to place like lightning rods everywhere on my wood roof.
Good.
It will be perfect.
Good.
Now, you've introduced a lot of things already, and players already have a lot of trouble with their inventory and the amount of items.
They're
Do you
now-
have an idea
oh,
for
great.
that?
Yes. So as you know, we keep adding new blocks and new items all the time, and that do create a bit of an inventory problem. And we're aware of that, and we have actually been thinking quite a lot how we can solve it, because we want to have like good gameplay solutions. We want it to be balanced, and we actually have an item in this update that will be really helpful, and it's the bundles.
The what? No way! It's a backpack! It's kind of like a backpack! Holy cow!
Yeah, this is awesome. It's such an elegant solution as well, and I love it. I think we spend a lot of time talking about the inventory problem, and I think one of the biggest takeaways there was that this is not actually one problem. It's constructed from a lot of sub-problems. For example, hotbar management is one problem. Getting a lot of blocks for your huge build somewhere, that's like something the shulkers help with. But I think there is a third sub-problems where every time you leave your base to go exploring somewhere, your inventory keeps getting full of junk. Like, this lot just has 2 flowers. This lot has just 1 seed, right? And I think the bundles are really going to help with that problem.
Yes. So the thing with the bundle is that you can place many different kinds of items in one bundle. So many different kinds of items in one inventory slot. So for example, I can take those 2 flowers and 1 seed and put them in one bundle. It's great.
And you can kind of use them like presents too.
Oh yes, I'm so excited about seeing what players do them in like shopping district, right? You can have the bundle of the day, which has a bunch of things with it, or you can have secret bundles where you have 3 of them in a chest, but you get a random one. I think it's really going to be cool.
Yes, and for example, if your friend has a birthday, you can put like your prettiest item in the bundle because it looks like a gift wrapper, and then you can give it to your friend.
That's so cool. We've talked so much today on the like really game design side, but how do you work on the art side?
We actually have a very close collaboration with the art team, and it's great.
So my job is basically to get an abstract idea and imagine how it would fit into the Minecraft universe and then start sketching it. So once my sketch is finished, I send everything to the 3D artist that it's gonna model it and animate it to make it alive.
My job is to bring sketches to life and make them move in 3D space. To work with a game that has such a special look is amazing. It's a challenge, it's fun, it's sometimes frustrating, but it's very rewarding. I love it.
I make the pixel art of the blocks, and usually when I create a block texture for a new rock type, it's going to be a lot. Like, I'm going to make 50 iterations of one block because I want to make it right. Every block is like a building block for people's imagination, right? So I try to like pour a lot of love in each block to make sure
he's the guy that redesigned everything.
So I think my favorite thing about the Minecraft look is that it's very unexpected, very unconventional, and that's where like the special comes from.
Minecraft in terms of game art is special because it has such a unique look and it's very restricted. It has to be 3D pixel art and we can only work within those boundaries. So we have to like think inside the box but also outside the box. I've been working on this exciting new mob. This new mob will be the cutest predator ever existed in Minecraft.
This update is incredible. Like, people have been waiting for this for so long, and we're finally gonna do it.
I hope that the community is really, really happy about it. I hope they have a lot of new stuff to play with, and I hope that they're excited to see some concepts as well.
It's so lovely when you can think about all of the different jobs within game development. I love seeing the artists and developers, and we all, like across the show, there's so many different types of roles that people have.
Yeah, and it's really awesome to interact with all those roles and have a lot of a back and forth. We're very open in Mojang and getting ideas from all over the place, and specifically working with the art team is amazing as well. You sort of throw one idea to the air and he draws something and you're like, oh, what is that white thing in your drawing? I didn't even think about it, and it starts so many awesome ideas going. And we even integrated into our prototype process, and actually I think until I saw those sketches by the art team, I didn't really understand what archaeology in Minecraft even means.
Archaeology?
Yes, so we're actually adding a new system called the archaeology system.
No way!
In this system, you're basically going to find these excavation sites all throughout your world. You can make this
one of the things I've wanted!
New tool called the brush that is going to help you uncover the mysteries of all these dig sites. So you come to one of these ancient structures and you can sort of use the brush to clear away some of the rubble that may have collapsed in those structures. And sometimes you might even find something shiny inside them. But, and this is important, if you are not careful enough, like in real life, you can destroy that artifact. And when that artifact is gone, that artifact and all the secrets it held are gone forever. But if you're careful enough, if you take your time and you're deliberate, you can get some of those hidden artifacts. And for example, here we got a ceramic shard, which is basically how whoever lived here used to tell and pass on their stories.
I love the story sides of the archaeology. Because we often talk about that we want to deepen the mystery in Minecraft. And when you find these hidden artifacts, you kind of find like connections and hints. And we will never tell the full story, but these will inspire the players to tell their own stories about their own Minecraft worlds.
Exactly. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what players do with them. For example, here we see an exhibition that someone built for this, where he can compare all the different clues he finds, right, and try to preserve whatever was down here, and he can compare what we found with whatever new thing, and sort of try to connect the pieces, right? And here we see those pieces connected in a clay pot, actually trying to reconstruct them back. And you can create that however you like. You can create your own stories or try to guess how those pieces used to connect.
Yeah. It's also so fun to be very creative with these new pots, because you can put the shards in any way you want.
Exactly, and when you're pleased with your creation, you can fire them up, and you have your own painted clay pot.
Pretty.
No way!
Is this programmer art still?
The art is still work in progress, but I personally like the dragon. I think it's cute.
Yeah, it didn't say programmer art isn't pretty.
Yeah, the problem is the artists are way too good.
Yeah.
They just make us look bad.
Archaeology is amazing. I mean, the excavation site is so incredible.
I'm so excited about this. I've spent a lot of time about it, and I actually got to do a lot of awesome conversations with actual archaeologists from all around the world, and it's been, honestly, I sort of feel like I got so passionate about it myself that their passion sort of stuck to me, and it was so amazing to learn more about this, and I'm really excited to see where it goes from here.
And you have a dev diary coming out on our YouTube channel where you kind of explore all of the archaeology even more.
Yeah, it's honestly really, really exciting. So I had so much fun with this, and I learned so much that I decided that it can't stop with me. So we're going to do a dev diary when we're actually going to talk to those archaeologists. And actually, we might even get to visit some interesting locations.
That is amazing. Well, it feels very sad, but we're almost out of time. But we've been hinting at a new mob, like over the course of the show, like 3 or 4 times. So are you going to tell us about it now, please?
Yes, now we're going to tell you. It's the cutest predator you will ever meet.
Axolot? This is a Pokemon? Wait, what? It's a bug. It's kind of a bug. That's a fish. Axolot.
I feel like there's only one sound I can make after seeing that, which is like...
It's cute. So adorable. The axolotls.
How did you decide on axolotls?
So, when we add a new mob to Minecraft, we really wanted to have like its own unique character. We wanted to have purpose. And it's also a very good thing if it happens to be ugly cute. And the axolotl is perfect. It has all of these things. Well, I guess on the ugly cuteness, it might be quite a big emphasis on the cute side, but still. And we actually had a brainstorm in the team. So we were like, okay, we're gonna add goats, but we want to add another animal. And then one of the developers posted like a big picture of an axolotl, and we all went like, yes!
Yes, this right now.
It's like the definition of ugly cute. It's like made for Minecraft.
Perfect.
And then we also found out that the axolotls are endangered in the real world, and we think it's good to add endangered animals to Minecraft to create awareness around that. So that's also a good thing.
Like with the bees?
Yes, like with the bees last year, for example. Yeah, so the axolotls, as you saw in the video, they live in the lush caves and they really add a lot of life to the lush caves. And there's also a bucket of axolotls.
I didn't think it could get cuter.
But that is just so cute. I don't know how to handle it, but it's so cute. So when you're walking around in the lush caves and you see some axolotls, then you can actually scoop them up in your bucket and take them with you. So maybe you build like a pretty aquarium for them in your base, or maybe you bring them to your ocean adventure.
Oh, they're gonna beat the Guardians?
And now I see why you're calling them the cutest predator you'll ever meet.
Exactly. So when you scoop them up in a bucket, you can actually create your own axolotl army, basically, and charge into the oceans with them, and they will help you fight various, they'll attack cute fish as well, but they'll help you fight the drowns and the guardians, and they're actually quite useful when fighting guardians because they have this special ability that whenever they take damage, they sort of play dead. And when they're playing dead, no mob will actually attack them. So they have this time to regen back health and then jump back into the fight together with you. And if you learn how to cooperative with them really well, they might even heal you during the battle.
That is so cool. But, okay, so you added these two mobs that are like as different as possible with the warden and the axolotl.
Yes. So this update is actually a lot about contrast, which is great because it creates like a dramatic player experience, which is so good. So we're like updating the highest heights of Minecraft with the mountains. We're updating like the deepest of the caves. We had this terrifying warden, the cutest axolotl, and also in the caves, like the lush caves are very light and welcoming, and then the deep dark is super scary and challenging.
I guess we can't forget our little goat in there.
Oh.
It's kind of the in-between.
Yeah, we shouldn't forget the goat. I guess it's in between. It is still very cute, but in between. No one can be as cute as the axolotl.
No, I don't think so. Before we tell everyone the winner of the mob vote, let's take a look back at some of the exciting things that we've talked about today.
Alright guys, I am going to have a recap of this on my second channel, Aquatic Let's Plays and Reviews. And so, yeah. I'm going to have a full-on thing recapping all of this. Oh man, I can't wait for this update. Oh man. But copper? Really? Copper slabs, copper stairs, rusted copper, lightning rods.
Before we get to our mob vote, I think there's one more question people are really going to want to know. When are we going to get the caves and the cliffs update?
It's a good question. So we plan to release it summer 2021. And this actually is really good. As I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we really want to have a lot of time to work together with the community to like gather feedback, see all the great ideas, because the community always have so many good ideas. So it feels good that we don't have a lot of time to actually work together on this update.
Amazing. And the community decided on a new mob that will enter the game. So which one of you gets to do the honors today?
So I think Tiny Agnes has been a bit mean this year, so I think you should open it, Nina. You should announce the winner. Yes.
Can I look first?
You're gonna know before everyone else.
It's the glow squid!
Okay.
Wow.
The glow squid's coming to Minecraft.
I guess everyone was mesmerized by the glow squid, not just the tiny ones.
No,
I was really not expecting that. That is so awesome.
Yes, like I didn't expect it at all, but it's great. And glow squids will look so cool in the caves, like the atmosphere.
So well.
It will be. Imagine it's just all dark in the caves, and then you see the glow squids swimming around. It will be so good.
Beautiful. Can they be friends with the axolotls?
The axolotls are predators, so I'm not sure.
The axolotls might actually attack them.
Oh no.
We'll see. I'll talk to them.
Think about it.
Yes.
We have committed to a lot of things, so I think we need to get work on all of the things that we've shown in the show. Yeah. For all of you watching, Minecraft wouldn't be what it is today without all of you. From all of us at Mojang Studios, thank you so much. Bye!
Alright guys, you just saw the best parts of Minecraft Live. If you want to see the unedited version of the live stream, then you can go to legoshowtv, my main channel, which this video is on, and you can check out the Minecraft live reaction with legoshowtv. That's what the video is titled. It has everything in it unedited. And so, yeah, this video was just me recording while streaming and editing it down and doing the best of the information provided. So, yeah, we got a lot of information. There were some parts that were more entertaining than others. We did get information on new updates. We have finally a cave update, but it's not just any cave update by itself. It is the Caves and Cliffs update, Caves and Cliffs update, and it is 1.17, and it combines the caves, so they're going to redo the the generation and everything of the caves themselves. And then they're adding the 2019 mountain update in it that won last year when they announced another update. So we get goats in there as well, and the glow squid. Yeah. I will be covering a lot more of this on my second channel as time goes on, up to the first snapshot to the very end of the development cycle. So if you have enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.